Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel. Peter likes books. And it has been so long since I have filmed a video over here, it seems so strange. I have really missed being over here, so hi. Do you remember me? Hi, it's Peter from Peter Likes Books. And today, I'm going to talk about the best book clubs in the entire world. But before I do, I just want to say it is my intention going into 2022 to post over here on a more regular basis, and I really want to get back to doing some of the videos that I used to do over here regularly. I loved doing tag videos and hauls, and I just want to do some discussions about maybe even books that I've read a long time ago and talking about them now and things like that. So yeah, I'm excited about 2022. I have a list of ideas of videos that I want to make over here. I'm going to make my most anticipated reads video for 2022. I'm also going to talk about some other things to do with 2022 in books that I'm very, very excited about. I'm also in the next couple days going to do, well, after the New Year's, I'm going to do my best and my favorites of 2021 and my least favorites of 2021, and I will do a review of the past year as well. So those videos are coming in the next week. Very excited about that. My goal was to read, my Goodreads goal for this year was 102 books. I'm currently reading my 110th book, and I may end up reading 111th book. We'll see. I don't know. So anyway, I'm currently reading the White Christmas Inn. It's really good. I bought all these Christmas Audible books, and so I'm like, I might as well listen to them before New Year's, you know, to get the Christmas books out of the way. January 1st, listen, I'm getting ready for the pool, okay? I'm thinking about the pool. I don't want to be reading any Christmas books anymore. So anyway, cozy Christmas murders, maybe, but just the Christmas romances and stuff, no, I'm done with all that. So anyway, today I wanted to do the announcement for the January books for a true crime book club, which I run with my good Judy Mel. Hey Mel, how are you? And also the books that I am going to be reading for Peter's book club for the month of January as well, which I'm very, very excited about. So let's get into this. If you want to join a true crime book club, all the information is listed below. All you have to do is go over to the Facebook group, join the Facebook group. There's a couple questions you have to answer. If you don't answer the questions, I don't know that you'll be allowed in, so I'm just saying that. But anyway, and then we have a live stream once a month where we discuss the book for the previous month. So I think probably the December book will be discussed not this upcoming Sunday because it's New Year's weekend, but probably I need to talk to Mel about that. But it will be announced in the Facebook group but the following weekend. We also have a Goodreads thread as well. But most of the information that we're posting at this point, we are posting on the Facebook group. So the book for January, which I'm very, very excited about, is Go Down Together, The True Untold Story of Bonnie and Clyde by Jeff Guinn and Jonathan Hogan. Or Jonathan Hogan, I guess, is the narrator of this if you listen to it on Audible. So anyway, Mel has wanted to read, let me just tell you, okay? Mel has wanted to read a Bonnie and Clyde book for, she's obsessed with Bonnie and Clyde, okay? So she has wanted to read a Bonnie and Clyde book for so long. And I have to tell you, I'm not super interested in Bonnie and Clyde, but part of that is because I don't know anything about them. So I am really excited about reading this book. And in fact, when I was in Las Vegas the last time, myself and a couple of my friends, we went to the Zach Bagans Haunted Museum. And in there, they had several of the artifacts from Bonnie and Clyde, including the fishing box or the fishing whatever, that they used to fish so that they could feed themselves while they were on the run. So anyway, I am excited about reading this book. I don't really know much about Bonnie and Clyde whatsoever, except for what we know from movies and things like that. I actually haven't even seen the entire movie Bonnie and Clyde, so that will be one of the things I'll be doing. So anyway, Go Down Together, The True Untold Story of Bonnie and Clyde. Forget everything you think you know about Clyde Barrow and Bonnie Parker. Previous books and films, including the brilliant 1967 movie starring Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway, have emphasized the supposed glamour of America's most notorious criminal couple, thus contributing to ongoing mythology. The real story is completely different and far more fascinating. In Go Down Together, the true untold story of Bonnie and Clyde, best-selling author Jeff Guinn combines exhaustive research with surprising, newly discovered material to tell the real tale of two kids from a filthy Dallas slum who fell in love and then willingly traded their lives for a brief interlude of excitement and, more important, fame. Their timing could not have been better. The Barrow Gang pulled its first heist in 1932 when most Americans, reeling from the Great Depression, were desperate for escapist entertainment. How long is this synopsis, my lord? Thanks to newsreels, true crime magazines, and newfangled wire services that transmitted scandalous photos of Bonnie, this synopsis is about as long as the book is. Mel? I'm joking. I picked House of Gucci, and that book was 18 hours or something, 18 hours and 50 minutes or something like that on Audible. Thanks to newsreels, true crime magazines, and if you are part of the book club, what you know is that Mel and I, we love to shade each other, okay? That's like our thing. So I love you, Mel. All right, endless night. Thanks to newsreels, true crime magazines, and newfangled wire services that transmitted scandalous photos of Bonnie smoking a cigar to every newspaper in the nation, the Barrow Gang members almost instantly became household names on par with Charles Lindbergh, Jack Dempsey, and Babe Ruth. In the minds of the public, they were cool, calculating bandits who robbed banks and killed cops with equal impunity. Nothing could have been further from the truth. Clyde and Bonnie were perhaps the most inept crooks ever, and their 2-year crime spree was as much a reign of error as it was of terror. I didn't know that. Lacking the sophistication, I guess I'll find that out in the book. Lacking the sophistication to plot robberies of big city banks, the Barrow Gang preyed mostly on small mom-and-pop groceries and service stations. Even at that, they often came up empty-handed and were reduced to breaking into gum machines for real money. Okay. Both were crippled. Clyde from cutting off 2 of his toes while in prison. I don't think we use that word today, do we? But I'm reading it straight from the book. Clyde from cutting off 2 of his toes while in prison, and Bonnie from a terrible car crash caused by Clyde's reckless driving. Constantly on the run from the law, they lived like animals, camping out in their latest stolen car, bathing in creeks, and dining on cans of cold beans and Vienna sausages. Yet theirs was a genuine love story. Their devotion to each other was as real as their overblown reputation as criminal masterminds was not. Go Down Together has it all. True romance, rebellion against authority. Bullets. Did you ever see that movie, True Romance? Oh, that movie was so good. Bullets flying, cars crashing, and in the end, a dramatic death at the car. A dramatic death at the hands of a celebrity lawman hired to hunt them down. Thanks in great part to surviving Barrow and Parker family members and collectors of criminal memorabilia who provided Jeff Guinn with access to never before published material, we finally have the real story of Bonnie and Clyde and their troubled times delivered with cinematic sweep and unprecedented insight by a masterful storyteller. Woo! That's some synopsis, and I am ready for it. So anyway, that is the book for True Crime Book Club for January, our first book for 2022. I'm really, really excited about that. I think this is our 3rd year going into doing just true crime. So this is going to be fun. Is it our 3rd year? Or is it our 4th year? I can't believe it. Anyway, so fun. All right, so that is the book for True Crime Book Club. Now let me pull up. Oh, shoot. I have the book right over there. Okay, hold on one second. Okay, I'm back. I had to get the book. I actually have the physical book, so I have to get the book. I started reading this book sometime, I think, in the summer. And let me just tell you, I have been such a fan of this author for a long time, and I have never read any of her work until I started opening this book. But I just thought that she was such a cool person, and she recently passed away, and that is Joan Didion. And I had seen a documentary on Netflix about her life. I've seen other documentaries as well. She was just such a force, I think, in the writing world, and she also impacted the world greatly by her writing, and I just always thought that she was just so cool, you know, so absolutely cool, and I'm a believer that writers are rock stars. Joan Didion recently passed away, and so I thought it would be cool to honor her coolness in January by reading one of her most famous books, and that is a book of essays. Most of her books are books of essays, and that is Joan Didion's Slouching Towards Bethlehem. Now, I have to tell you how I found out about this book, okay, because originally I wanted to read The Year of Magical Thinking by Joan Didion. And I think it was actually on the list of books to read before a True Crime Book Club became a True Crime Book Club. I think it was going to be the first book in January or the last book in December or something like that. And then we decided to turn it over to True Crime, so we never read it. And I never read Year of Magical Thinking. And then I saw the documentary, and then I just fell in love with her. Okay, Dan Levy of Schitt's Creek fame, David, right? I saw this YouTube video that he did. It's like 10 Things I Can't Live Without or something by Dan Levy. And it was like black Prada pants. It was like all these different things. But one of them was this book. And he said that he carries a copy of this book with him wherever he goes. And I was like, okay, so I love Dan Levy. Talk about an influencer, right? I was like, I love Dan Levy, so I need to read this book if he is that impacted by it. And I sat out on my front porch one summer night and I started this. And it's just so absolutely beautifully written that I didn't ever pick it up again. No, it is absolutely beautifully written. I didn't read a lot on my front porch this year. So anyway, my plan was to like take this and read by the pool and things like that. And I never continued it. So I'm very, very excited about finishing this book. Let me read to you the synopsis on the back of the book, which you can see is not as long as Bonnie and Clyde. Pretzel bites. I'm just saying. Okay. A half century after its initial... These little, like, subliminal jokes are all from Mel, who is literally on the other side of this, seething right now. But I love you, Mel. Okay? She's like a sister to me. And here is Joan Didion, if you have never seen Joan Didion. Like, every picture of her, she's got a cigarette in her hand. Okay. A half century after its initial publication in 1968, Joan Didion's Slouching Towards Bethlehem remains the essential portrait of America, in California in particular, during the 60s. The remarkable debut essay collection by one of the most distinctive prose stylists of our era. It explores such subjects as John Wayne and Howard Hughes, growing up in California, the nature of good and evil in a Death Valley motel room, and San Francisco's Haight-Ashbury, the heart of the counterculture. As Dan Wakefield, who's actually from Indiana, where I live, wrote in New York Times Book Review, in her portraits of people, Didion is not out to expose, but to understand. She makes him neither villainous nor glamorous, but alive and botched, and often mournfully beautiful. So I'm really, really excited about this. Oh, what did Joyce Carol Oates say about this? You know, if you get... I mean, Joan Didion is obviously an icon, right? But, I mean, if there's a quote on your book from Joyce Carol Oates, you know, like... I mean, Joyce Carol Oates probably looked up to her, right, though? She says, Didion has been an articulate witness to the most stubborn and intractable truths of our time. A memorable voice, partly eulogistic, partly despairing, always in control. Joyce Carol Oates. So I am really, really excited about reading this. You guys, it's not super long. It is 200 and, let's see, 238 pages, 237 pages. So... yeah, and I can just tell you from just the little that I have read, it's absolutely beautiful. So that is to pay homage to Joan Didion. And I have to tell you what happened. I was in a vlog the other night, and I was talking about the book for Peter's Book Club, which I kind of thought about not continuing Peter's Book Club, and then I asked, and so many people said that they did read the books for Peter's Book Club that I was like, I'm going to continue with Peter's Book Club. Why not? If a couple of us are reading books together, that's fun, right? So... I had said in my vlog the other night, I said I want, the book that I chose for Peter's Book Club for January is somebody that recently passed away. And I was talking about this book and Joan Didion, right? And it was funny because one of my friends from high school that watches my vlogs, she commented and she said, Year of Magical Thinking. I was like, oh, maybe I should have picked that one, but I really want to read this one. And then that one next. But somebody commented and said, oh, Anne Rice. Because then right after Joan Didion passed away, Anne Rice of the famous Vampire Chronicles fame passed away. And I had never read an Anne Rice novel. I think when I was in high school, I tried to read the Vampire Chronicles, like the Interview with the Vampire that was super famous. I've never seen the whole movie. I think I just started it and I was like, I couldn't get into it. I used to in high school back in the day meet all these people that would read that book, wear all black, and then they were vampires, and they would tell you that they were vampires, and they would tell you that they were writing their story just like the vampire Lestat, right? And they were basically just like him. So I have never read an Anne Rice book, and I have read many Christopher Rice books, or Son's books. I love his writing. I actually don't think he writes anymore. I said this in my vlog last night. I don't know, but I haven't seen a book from him in a while. So I got on Audible because I wanted to see. I will tell you, first of all, I tried so hard to get a physical copy of Interview with the Vampire, okay, which is the first book in the Vampire Chronicles. Now, several people said to read them in order. I looked, and it says that Interview with the Vampire is the first book. If that is not the order that you're supposed to read them in, can somebody please let me know? I'm still going to pick Interview with the Vampire for January, but I just want to know. I went to Half Price Books. They didn't have any copies. I went to Barnes & Noble. They didn't have any copies. I got on Amazon. They didn't have any copies. I looked elsewhere on the internet. It is so impossible to find a copy of Interview with the Vampire. I'm sure you can get it on a Kindle. I'm sure you can probably get it at the library. And I know that they have it on Audible. I bought it on Audible. It is 14 hours and like 30 minutes or something like that, and it's supposed to be a fantastic Audible narration. So I'm really excited about that. So if you have never read Interview with the Vampire, like I haven't, let's read the synopsis for this really quick. Oh, shoot. I went into, what book did I pull up by accident? Elements of Programming Interviews. That was not oh my lord, what is that? Okay. Interview with the Vampire. Hold on a second. Anne Rice, that's one we want. There's a lot of books that are called very similar things to that, but dirty. Okay. Interview with the Vampire. Now, I have to tell you, this cover that it's showing, I like literally have this book in a box down in the basement to take to Half Price Books where they would have a copy and then I would buy my own copy back. But I don't know where it's at. So, okay. This is the story of Lewis, as told in his own words, of his journey through mortal and immortal life. Lewis recounts how he became a vampire at the hands of the radiant and sinister Lestat, and how he became indoctrinated, unwillingly, into the vampire way of life. His story ebbs and flows through the streets of New Orleans, defining crucial moments such as his discovery of the exquisite lost young child Claudia. Who played her? Somebody famous played her, right? Was it like Christina Ricci or somebody? Wanting not to hurt, but to comfort her with the last breath of humanity he has inside. Yet he makes Claudia a vampire, trapping her womanly passion, will, and intelligence inside the body of a small child. Lewis and Claudia form a seemingly unbreakable alliance and even settle down for a while in the opulent French Quarter. Lewis remembers Claudia's struggle to... Lewis remembers Claudia's struggle to understand herself and the hatred they both have for Lestat that sends them halfway across the world to seek others of their kind. Lewis and Claudia are desperate to find somewhere they belong, to find others who understand and someone who knows what and why they are. Lewis and Claudia travel Europe, eventually coming to Paris and the ragingly successful Theater des Vampires, a theater of vampires pretending to be mortals, pretending to be vampires. Here they meet the magnetic and ethereal Armand, who brings them into a whole society of vampires. But Lewis and Claudia find that finding others like themselves provides this is a long synopsis too, my lord. Like themselves provides no easy answers and in fact presents danger they scarcely imagined. Originally begun as a short story, well, it's not anymore, the book took off as Anne wrote it, spinning the tragic and triumphant life experiences of his soul, as well as the struggles of its characters. Interview captures the political and social changes of two continents. The novel also introduces Lestat, Anne's most endearing character, a heavy mixture of attraction and revulsion. The book, full of lush description, centers on the themes of immortality, change, lost sexuality, and power. And then it says source, Anne Rice. Okay, this book came out, 2004. That's not true. I don't know when it came out, but I know it wasn't 2004 because people read it when I was in high school. So I'm really, really excited about... Is that not true? Did it come out? Well, hold on a second. I'm going to have to Google this. Okay. Year, because now I need to know. Year Interview with the... Oh, shoot. Autocorrect. With the Vampire published. What am I holding my hand up for? Okay. 1976? No. Was it really published in 1976? That's crazy. Yeah, it was. 1976. So way before I was in high school. I don't know, maybe it had like a resurgence then. But I do know that it really greatly affected a lot of people and their love for reading and, all of that. So I know there are a lot of people out there that read Interview with the Vampire. That was just like the book for them, for so long. So anyway, so for the month of January, the Bonnie and Clyde book. I will list all these books below. The Bonnie and Clyde book, and then for True Crime Book Club, and then for Peter's book club, Slouching Towards Bethlehem by Joan Didion, and Interview with the Vampire by Anne Rice. And full month of reading. I'm very, very excited about it. So, oh, and also if you're an Alice Oseman fan, the new installment of Heartbreaker, the graphic novel by Alice Oseman, I think comes out January 3rd or 4th. My copy will be on my door because I have pre-ordered it, so I'm so excited. Anyway, let me know if you guys are going to read along with these books with me and Mel and everybody in between for the month of January. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.